tardy, but here.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
still not playing on my TV though.
Okay, let me see if it's playing over here. Let's see. Okay, it should be playing. Your tube is live. Your channel is live on YouTube. So I can
Oh, now
see
it
it.
comes. Now it's clicking on. It's clicking on now.
Okay, good.
There you
Great,
go.
great. All right, well, now we can start all over. It's okay. No big deal. Geez, life is funny, isn't it? Okay, so let me go back over here where we were. But yeah, I mean, whenever they said, okay, so we were talking about these kids, they tried to drown. She gave them NyQuil, and they live in this big house. They have some judgments against them where they owe people scam they've been running. And I am wondering if that scam they're running over there has something to do with why she's trying to take the kids in her life. Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Two older children had to go to a mental hospital. God almighty, that's terrible.
Just horrible.
They have not filed any charges yet. Okay.
Well, they're just trying to get their ducks in a row right now.
This is a big house. I was like, what? They should too, because I mean, it's pretty bad, right? You know, it's pretty bad. So, anything else that's going on out there? Let's see. Jack and Lily's story. There's some new things coming up on that. There's going to be a new RCMP update, I think tomorrow. They're speaking of maybe a couple of them. I'm not sure. It's going to, but something about the cadaver dogs, and I don't know, what else was it? I heard something else that they were going to come and talk about tomorrow. And of course, Sebastian, there's nothing really new over there, other than some of the people that we all listen to are going to go to the Pig Fest. Okay, which is the Pig Fest is this big thing that happens in Tennessee, and it's like they have barbecue contests, they sell things, that kind of thing.
Like a fair, kind of like a county fair type of thing.
Yeah, and a group of YouTubers are going to go to this thing in support of Sebastian, you know, because it's being held right there in Hendersonville, where he's from. So,
right.
You see what? Yeah, it's interesting. Now, I want it to go well, and I want people to show support. I really do, you know. So
yeah.
Let's see.
Anything that they can get out of that for support of him and just get something moving on that would just be amazing.
It sure would. I mean, because at this point, all we see is what? The same, you know, the same nothing.
Yeah, same regurgitated nothing.
Talking. There you go. Thank you. That's the best way to put it. That you're right about that. You know, and a lot of people just don't even go look at these cases anymore. Now, there's another one that's came up, which is the Devil and Tate story. He's also missing. And that's an interesting story that, you know, Lady Freedom has talked about that one a lot. And you know who Panda Bear's mom is? She's, you know, she's in all these chats that we go to. All right. Well, she started a little channel, and she's talked about the Devil and Tate story too. So,
I'll have to look that one up.
Story. Yeah, he interested. Oh, here's the post for the Pig Fest. Oh, that's on Facebook. I never go to Facebook because, here you go. You've been asking for it. This is their post. You've been asking for it. Today we are excited for everyone to have the first look at the full 3-day Pig Fest schedule. Okay, so let's see what they have here. You can buy tickets. And it's going to be presented by Dude Wipes. That is the name of the company who's going to sponsor this. And it's the 6th annual Hendersonville Pig Fest presented by Dude Wipes. It'll be in the Veterans Park in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And let's see. The event is hosted by Holiday Fest and the Hendersonville Parks and Recreation. Let me see who all's going to be there. Who all's going to be there? It's going to be Mary's Magical Place, the Live Oak Nashville, Grace Place, and Christmas for Kids. Okay, that's where I guess the proceeds are going there, I guess. I'm not sure. But like general admission is $20, and kids under 12 get in free. They do not need a ticket. You can get a VIP ticket for $100, which includes the concert ticket. There will be complimentary non-alcoholic beverages and 2 drink tickets, a Pig Fest hat, a Pig Fest t-shirt, and a limited amount of only 100 VIP tickets will be sold. Well, sounds interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my. Let's see.
I wonder what kind of turnout they get.
I think it's a pretty big turnout. I mean, but here's the thing about that. Okay, so somebody that we all know wanted to get a booth over there, and supposedly they were going to give away. No, they were going to pass out flyers for Sebastian Rogers, and they were told, well, no, they would have to get permission from the Bowerstocks and the Proudfoots or something like that. So there was a big hoopla about this all over the internet, all over YouTube. But what the real thing was on it is they don't allow anybody to pass out flyers. That's not what it's about, right? It's about it's just not about that. So they don't allow anybody to pass out flyers. So if you get a booth, you have to be, making things, that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I guess it's specific to the area, but that I'm not sure about. So anyway, I thought that was kind of interesting stuff. Yeah, it's sad, but interesting. And what else? Let's see about Devlet over here. Now,
well, but you know what? There's
Devlet.
parking lots and things. They should be able to put things on cars in the parking lot. Maybe there's other alternatives to passing out flyers than inside.
I was thinking that too. They could just be out there where people are parking if they don't get run out of the parking lot, because it is a private event that they're selling tickets to. So,
yeah.
Now, we'll talk about Devlet for just a minute. Let's see. Now, this one's interesting because there's so many different. It's like Sebastian again. There's many different parts that make up the whole thing. Okay. So this guy is like 18 years old, and he has autism and a couple other little things. But one of the things that happens to him is he was living with some family members. Somebody adopted him or something. Well, the man died, and then he went to live with some other people that are part of the family. All right, but he gets some kind of check, and somebody was getting it before, but then the judge decided that he could take care of himself, and the check was given over to the boy because it's his money, right? The next thing that happens, this is kind of the way I understand it, and I'm not gossiping because I've only listened to parts of it, but the next thing that happened is all of a sudden you can't use our electricity to charge your phone because you don't help out here anymore. See, they were using the way I understand it, they were using his money to pay part of the bills there. But when they didn't get his money anymore, then if he didn't help pay for things, well, then he couldn't use their electricity. He couldn't stay in their house. I mean, it's just a huge mess. It's like they made him homeless all of a sudden. I mean, but then you have his real mother who lives in Arizona who goes over and talks about it. And then you have this Matt guy who's somehow involved with this whole story who goes on the same chat and tries to say that all these things that we have heard are not true. Okay. But they are true. I mean, it's another mess of confusing things that people are not going to tell the truth about.
Right.
But listen to this.
Especially if the truth makes them look bad, they're not going to say it.
Oh, and it does. Yeah, absolutely. So this poor kid has cerebral palsy, ADHD, poor thing, Tourette syndrome, and fetal alcohol syndrome. Now, his mother said on a live the other day that part was not true. He did not have fetal alcohol syndrome. That was something somebody else made up. Okay. So let me see. They're offering a reward. What else? The sheriff county says there's no updates, and of course he's not been seen anywhere either. And his scent stops over there by the trailer park he was staying in, by some body of water over there. So it kind of makes you wonder what happened. What happened to that child?
Yeah, something happened. Again, we say kids just don't disappear.
Well, I mean, I know aliens didn't pick them up. Then there was another one that came out too. Let's see, missing kids on YouTube. I'm trying to remember what the person's name is, but I can't remember. But it came out today. This kid is also in Canada. I think his name is Darius. Another little missing child that's 5 years old. They were all together, him and his brothers and sisters, and they were hiking or walking or something, and all of a sudden they appear back home, but this child is missing and nobody knows what happened to him. So that's a very strange story. I don't understand that. Yeah
If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. There's a reason.
I mean, when we don't get, here's the thing, when we don't get facts or something, we just try to fill in the blanks with September 21st while camping with his family in Alberta, Canada. He's not been found. They've done over 400 searches and rescues on an 11-day search across 22 square kilometers of rugged terrain, because it is very rough out there, right? The RCMP continues to investigate his disappearance, but presume he is deceased. Oh, though they are still asking public to report. Oh no! So he was 6 years old.
There's got to be a
see.
reason they're presuming he's deceased. Of course, they're not going to release that, but there's got to be a reason.
I agree with that. I mean, maybe it's because he's been out there 11 days and by the weather, the terrain, just the conditions, and nobody's seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how many more of these do we have to see? How many more? I don't understand.
Just when you think like you've seen like the worst, something else happens. It's like we thought it was bad with Letitia, and we thought it was bad with the Watts, and then you have the guy who just murdered his 3 kids, Travis Decker. I mean, it just gets worse. And Leilani and Megan Boswell. It's like they're all just so horrible on their own, and you think, oh my God, is that how many more? And then there's always another one.
It's like, how many a week do they? I mean, what about all the ones we don't even hear about? The indigenous people. I mean, what about all those kids that came over whenever people were just running over the border? There's like, I think 300 children unaccounted for. Where are they?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I Googled it once, how many children go missing in the U.S., and I forget how much it broke down to per day. It was like one, I want to say it was like one every 30 minutes is what I want to say. Yeah, it was staggering. It was absolutely staggering. And that was results from like 2 years ago. So of course it's going to be different today, but it was just mind-boggling that it was that many. And then how many people that are guilty and don't report their children missing? That's
for years until years later.
But it's a percentage. So that's not even taken into account.
Well, listen to this. Okay, so I just looked it up. Over 460,000 children missing in the U.S., right? God. Oh, my God.
Isn't that incredible?
A lot.
And if you break that down per day, they break it down even further, and it comes out to so many minutes. It's just incredible.
You know what doesn't make sense? It says case resolution. 99.8% of missing children are found and returned home safely. Then why is it every one of these children that we hear about on YouTube are not found and returned home safely?
Yeah, that doesn't sound accurate. Then how could there be that many missing? If it was 99%, if it was 99% are found, where did those numbers come from?
I'd like to know. How do they?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Look at the highest rate, the state that has the highest rate of missing children, Alaska and Oklahoma. Wow.
Oh, really?
That's too. Yeah.
Wow.
You know what? But let's look at this. We're going to find out what percentage. We're going to look what percentage. We're just cussing and discussing. What percentage of children, missing is because of a step parent. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that would be an interesting statistic.
Let's see what we can find out. Okay. Whoops. Well, I got to spell that right.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay, let the phone do the talking. All right. There we go. Okay. I know that's drunk drivers. That's not the right one. Oh my God. Because of a step parent. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I'm on to it. Here we go. Oh my. I'll be so glad when it cools off in Texas. It is way too hot.
Is it still real hot there?
Oh God, it was in the 90s again today. I'm tired of it. I need some cool.
Yeah.
So
That's definitely
Here
not
we go.
feeling very fallish.
No, it's not. It's not. So, oh, here's something. The increased risk is known as the Cinderella effect, which suggests that a step parent's lower genetic investment in a child may contribute to a higher likelihood of neglect or abuse, according to National Center for Health Research. And I will agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. It says, while a definitive overall percentage of child abuse caused by step parents is not available, that's when it goes, and statistics show that children in step families are significantly more likely to experience abuse, with some research suggesting they are 40 to 100 times more at risk for abuse compared to children living with their biological parents. Okay, so it's the Cinderella effect. Okay.
I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Me neither. That is interesting. We'll have to remember that. Let's see. Now I want to know how many of them are actually killed. Let's see. I know that's a terrible thing to talk about, but how many are? How many children are killed by their step parents every year? Because what we hear of a lot
I
of
can
them.
think of Gabriel Fernandez, Gannon Stout.
Oh, that was bad. Mm-hmm.
Those are just two off the top of my head.
Okay. Here we go. It's generating information. According to multiple research reviews, step parents are the perpetrators in approximately 10% of all filicide cases, which is the murder of a child by a parent or parent figure. Huh.
I'm surprised.
So just happens to be the ones that.
I thought it would
have
been
so
higher.
Too. Me too. How about that? Because we hear about so many. You know, There's another thing that I always wonder, because when they look for these kids, the one thing they don't do is they never look in the family suitcases, right? But I did a little study the other day. I was trying to figure out how many people are disposed of in suitcases. It's a lot. I'll pull this back up. How many people are disposed? It's that. Suitcases. Okay, here we go. How many people are disposed of in suitcases? The question is, okay, it's kind of like not understanding what I'm trying to ask it. It's trying to tell me that 2 million bags are lost every year.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
Oh, no.
How many people are hidden or killed? I'm going to say killed in the suitcase, or
killed and placed in a suitcase. You probably have to be real specific.
Right. Yeah.
Or just discarded in a suitcase, maybe.
Let's see.
Yeah, like you said the other day, had they checked that suitcase with Letitia, that would have answered a lot of questions right out of the gate.
Here we go. Listen, there's no definite total number of people killed and placed in suitcases, and such crimes occur periodically. But the search results point to several specific high-profile cases. Right. There's the Albert, Alfonso, and Paul Longsworth. This happened in London. There is the 2 children in New Zealand. Their last name was Lee. I can't pronounce their names. Then there was Jessica Lewis and Austin Winter, and that was in Seattle. Wow. Then there's Bill McGuire. Melanie McGuire killed her husband, Bill, and put him in a suitcase. These are cases I've never heard of.
Yeah,
the Jorge Torres, of course, we know of that one. Let's see, deeper dive. That's interesting information, isn't it? Let's see. There's somebody named Yostin this just happened. A man was convicted in 2025. Oh, that's for Alberto Alfonso. The guy was finally convicted. Then we have Sarah Boone, of course. Then we have something in Delray Beach, where human remains were found in 3 separate suitcases, but they have not identified the person. So I guess it happens more than we think.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
But I'm surprised Gannon's not on that list.
I know, but he's just not on here yet. Prosecutors recount horrific details of how mom killed her. This was in New Zealand. Wow. Okay, let me see. UK. Okay. No, I mean, he's not on there. Maybe I should have said in the United States, but this is just talking about all of them in general,
Right.
So that's some interesting stuff. Wow. there's just a lot of things. So many things happen in a day's time that people you would never expect to happen. And then when you do hear about it, you're like, what the hell? It's so
Right?
shocking,
Oh,
Shocking thing. What shocking things are happening in California?
I don't know. Like I said, I didn't go on YouTube today at all, so I really didn't pay attention to anything. I didn't watch the news.
Okay.
I've just been so wrapped up in getting everything done around here before I started that job. I really haven't really spent too much time doing nothing.
Well, I'm so excited for you. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. I know you're looking forward to it. So here's the shocking cases in California.
What's going on here?
Okay. Shocking cases in California include the unsolved Black Dahlia case. Let's see.
That's
the O.J.
old.
Simpson thing. That's old, right?
Black Dahlia's
what do you think?
really
Okay,
old.
let me ask you something.
70s, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. What do you think about the Menendez brothers? Give me your take on whether they should stay in prison or not.
I know. I think you feel like they should, right?
Right.
That's a hard one because I feel like if all the evidence was given in the second trial, I feel like the outcome would have been different. And that's just the outcome. If they would have allowed the abuse and stuff in there. However, at the end of the day, they did murder their parents. And you can't get a free ride for that. And they were old enough at the time of their parents' murder to walk away or go to the authorities. They had other choices other than to murder their parents. If they were 10 and 11 years old or 10 and 12 years old, that's a different story. But they were definitely old enough to make different choices.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I think part of the problem was because there was no way to prove that letter from the cousin or the other statement from any of these people was true about the abuse, the sexual abuse. There was no way to prove it was true. Because how many times have we heard people say, well, blah, 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 because that's an excuse to not get in trouble. They get away with something because it's a mental, I have PTSD from that. Because then you don't know whether to believe people or not because there was nobody there who could tell us, they saw it or they knew it. Nobody. And that's kind of what makes that one hard.
Mm-hmm. So. And back in the time that trial happened, people didn't really talk about sexual abuse, especially from a man to his boys. That wasn't something that was discussed very much at all. So even had it come out, it makes you wonder how many people would have really believed it, just because it was so far-fetched at that time for people to even believe that something like that could happen.
Right. That's true. That's absolutely true.
But I don't think spending 30 years in jail is enough for murdering two people, regardless of the circumstances.
That's like, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Listen, Gypsy Rose should be in jail. But as soon as she could get a plea deal based on a lie, she took it because she knew if she went to trial, she'd be in there forever.
Of course, she got a sweet deal. She got a sweet deal. And she has done her time. At the end of the day, she served her sentence and she completed it and she's free.
And
that's not her fault she was given such a sweet deal. That was the prosecutors and the defense's deal for allowing it.
Because they just stopped investigating it as soon as they got an agreement together, they stopped investigating it. Mm-hmm. So, but poor Nick, look what happened to Nick. How could that happen to Nick like that? And he will never get out, ever.
Never.
There's nothing anybody can do. It's terrible.
No.
His own mother committed suicide after that, which
I know. Really just heartbreaking. That whole situation is just heartbreaking. She would have done well by herself to get out of prison and live under the radar. Right. Why she thought that was a good idea to step into the public like she did, I'll never understand.
I think it's because she grew up in the spotlight and she doesn't know how to just shut the hell up and go home and sit down. She, all these trips and all these things and all these things. That's she was always, the poster child. All this, she didn't know how to just go home and shut up. But I feel sorry now. Listen, a lot of people don't feel sorry for Ryan, but I kind of do. She used him. She needed an address, and she didn't want to live with her dad and Christy, so she married him so she'd have a place to get
Of
parole
course
to.
she did.
As soon as that 90 days was up, she filed.
Of course she
totally,
did.
yeah, yeah. But the way she tells it, oh no, that's not what happened. Right. Of course, she lies. We know it.
Well, she can't tell the truth to save her life.
I agree with you on that.
I mean,
I don't know
every
when the
story
last
she
time she
tells
did tell
is
the
different.
truth.
Every story she tells is different. I feel really bad. I feel really sorry for her daughter, because her daughter's really gonna really pay for her mistakes. Not even a mistake. I don't even think you could call that a mistake. Her daughter's gonna pay for her crime.
I always ask the question: how is she going to explain what happened to her mother to this child, or if she has more children? How's she going to explain that? I mean,
you can't.
Because eventually, these children get old enough and they look stuff up. They will go out on the internet or whatever to see if you told them the truth.
And somebody will tell that little girl the truth before Gypsy tells her. That's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, because kids are vicious, right?
Oh, yeah.
As soon as they figure out who she is, right?
And you can't shield them forever.
No. I mean, even if you put them in a private school, when they get out into the real world, they're going to figure it out. Somebody's going to say something.
Of course
you just can't hide a lie forever. It does not work. So
the truth always comes to light. Always.
It sure does. And sometimes it's not real pretty. So, and the only thing that's kind of going on in California that we kind of keep up with is the little Emmanuel Haro case. Now, that case, it's just so sad. The prosecutors are saying the case involving baby Emmanuel remains active, but they are not releasing new details as they prepare for upcoming court hearings. The Riverside County District Attorney's Office confirmed this week its investigators are actively involved, but emphasized their focus is on building a case for court, not for public disclosure. This update comes from Riverside County Sheriff's deputies in responding to a call of trespassing on October the 1st. The call came in just after 8 p.m. Deputies searched the area but said they found no one on the reported or items disturbed. So at the house they were living in, somebody was over there messing around. The community members told the news that they've seen people removing objects from the memorial. One visitor said they took like 4 big buckets and 6 trash bags full of stuff and left with it.
Wow.
They got the memorial. That's mean. Despite the concerns, the memorial has continued to grow, and visitors add new tents, tarps, and seasonal Halloween decorations this week, alongside rows of teddy bears and candles. For many, the site has become both a grieving space and a call for justice. This case is now moving forward in court. A felony settlement conference is scheduled for October 16th, followed by the preliminary hearing set for the 28th. Now, see, people tend to think, they're going to have a felony, what do they call this? A settlement conference. But that does not mean they're going to get a plea agreement. Right. So I'm going to look up to see what it means in California for a settlement.
Any judge who gives him anything less is going to be raked over the coals. After him getting such a deal on the last go around, there's no way that any judge is going to be lenient on him.
Hell no. Actually, he violated probation. So he'll get the probation revoked and the new charge.
As he should.
And I agree with that. Okay, so according to what goes on in California, this is a mandatory court date in California. All of these cases will have a mandatory settlement conference. That does not mean they're going to get a plea agreement. That does not mean they're set for plea that day. It's just that it's a meeting where all the parties and their attorneys meet with a neutral judge for attorney to discuss resolving the case before trial. Sometimes they will reach a settlement in civil cases and things like that. But the primary purpose is to facilitate that settlement, or the neutral party helps the parties identify and discuss the issues, which we know what they are. And then the judge or attorney may provide insights into the strengths and the weaknesses of each party's case, which can help in negotiations. Now, in this case, because they have no person, or they've never found him, and they have nobody that saw them do anything to him. All we have is whatever they found in the house and whatever the two are saying about each other. But there's nobody's ever said, oh yeah, well, he said that he rolled over on him, but that child was way too big to be rolled over on.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's not what happened.
That was just a downright lie. Then
It
where did all
it
the
was.
blood come from? Your baby doesn't bleed when you roll over on them.
Hell no, they don't. And so, they said they found blood in the house, but what I don't remember is if they decided that blood belonged to the baby or to somebody else. Because remember,
That's
there
true.
was somebody that had died in that house, like before, some relative of his relative, one of his relatives.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find anything about what happened. Okay, so blood evidence. We'll look it up right quick in the Haro case. Okay, let's see what it says.
I wonder where the daughter is. If she's in protective custody, if she's with a family member. I don't think I've ever heard where they placed her.
Yeah,
I heard she was with CPS had taken her at one point, but where she ended up going, I don't think I've ever heard.
Me neither. And I don't think they should. Actually, I don't think they should tell us. But I also don't think that the family who took the other child has the ability to take care of her too. Their hands are full because that other child is a 24-hour-a-day job.
Oh yeah.
Bless their heart. Yeah. So here's what it says out in the news world. In the murder investigation of baby Emmanuel, they had found blood evidence inside the family's home. The parents, Jake and Rebecca, were arrested after this discovery. Now, authorities obtained the search warrant. Okay, they found this information. The law enforcement found a substantial amount of blood inside the home. The discovery led investigators to believe Emmanuel was never kidnapped, and the initial report by Rebecca was false. According to our sources, authorities also found Emmanuel's clothes, bedclothes, and photos in the neighbor's trash. That's enough to tell you they knew he wasn't coming home.
Oh, absolutely.
The blood evidence, along with other discoveries, formed a key part of their case against the Haros. It serves as a partial basis for the arrest warrant that was served. Then it says, after the evidence was found, Jake Haro reportedly confessed that he had inadvertently killed his son by rolling over while he slept. Hell no. Then he goes, the district attorney's office has stated the blood evidence also supports their belief that the baby Emmanuel was a victim of child abuse over a period of time, and that the injuries from that abuse led to his death. But here's the bad part. Though blood evidence was found, there's no remains, and the murder charges against the Haros, to which they have pleaded not guilty, are being pursued in a no-body homicide case, which relies heavily on circumstantial evidence. As of early October, the case is active, and prosecutors are focusing for court hearings. All right. So they didn't really tell us, did they?
Mm-mm.
All right.
But it sounds like it had to have been him. It sounds like, for them to arrest them right afterward, there had to have been some kind of evidence leading them to say that was Emmanuel's blood.
Yeah, probably so. But I wonder, because one thing we've never figured out is there a birth certificate? Was this child born at home, or was this child born in a hospital somewhere? Because if he was born at home, that would explain some residuals of blood or whatever, from the birth experience, right? Because they've never said anything about finding a birth certificate. He has no medical records because they never took him to the doctor. I kind of feel like, based on what I saw, that people talking about him having the shaky baby syndrome might be true, but I'm not, I'm just going off of what's being put out on YouTube and every place else as to why the child never went to the doctor.
Yeah, just looking at him, it looks like he's had some definite trauma.
Yeah, they said he was born normal. So
he certainly didn't have the look of a normal baby in the pictures that they've shown of him.
He sure didn't. And
he had no light in his eyes. He just no light in his eyes whatsoever.
He sure didn't. It was so sad. I hate seeing little babies like that abused. I hate seeing anybody abused. I hate seeing I don't care, animal, people, whatever. I don't like to see anything abused.
Yeah, but babies and old people. Babies and old people are the worst.
It is absolutely the worst. It is. So I'm talking to, let me get this guy's name pulled back up. I know what his channel name is, but let me find it real quick. I like him. He does a great job, and he's agreed to come on our show. I just need to reach out to him on TikTok. Yeah. Okay. He does a great job on the horror story. Baby Emmanuel. Oh. It's oops, hang on. Let's see if I can find it right quick. His last live that he did on it. It's Gunner something, and he just tells it exactly like it is. When he talks about those people, I'm like, oh my Lord, he does not hold back. He does not. but he's telling everything he's telling about it is the truth, though. So
yeah.
We know that because we've been listening. But he's just got a way about him that I like the way he presents it. I think it's called Gunner's Collective. Is really what it is. It is Gunner's Collective. That is his name. So
there you go.
He is. Let me see. He is talking about. I think. Let me pull this back up. Okay, Gunner's Collective TV. That's what it is. Who's going to tell it first? He's talking about Jake and Rebecca. This was from 6 hours ago. Y'all need to go watch him.
I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, I told him, I said, hey, I really like your show. I like your stuff, and we watch it, And so I'm going to hit him up on TikTok. But what I wanted to do was figure out, when do we want to try to do this? Because I know you've got a lot going on this week, so I don't want to pressure you. I don't want to do anything hard. I just want to, you let me know what you want to do, and we do want to do it.
I thought we were
make a big announcement.
Were we going to do Saturday?
You do Saturday? Okay,
yeah, we can do Saturday.
All right. Do you want me to ask him, or do you want me to, or you want to do something else first?
No, that's fine. Whatever. I'm game for whatever.
Okay, then we could do that. We'll go ahead and do that. I think it'd be fun to have people come up and talk to us and tell us about their life and how they got started in YouTube and things like that. I mean, what made them want to talk on? What made them want to have a channel? What? Because everybody has a reason for wanting to do YouTube. Some people think it's career. Some people think that they have something to say. Some people, I don't know. I mean, my reason is just I like to have friends and talk and have a good time. So this is a good place to do it.
Yeah. Some people want to do advocate work. Some people want to be, close to media. I mean, a lot of people everybody has a different reason.
Right. He's just very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to having him on. There's a lot of things that go on TikTok too. Now, I do have a TikTok channel, but I don't really go live over there and this does not, and for some reason, StreamYard will not hook up and go live onto TikTok at the same time. So what I have to do is record what we do and then move it over to TikTok later. Oh. And I don't mind doing that. And it's kind of weird because you'd think that StreamYard would have that capability already. It goes directly to X, but not to TikTok. So
that is strange.
Yeah. TikTok is just like the wild, wild west over there. I'm telling you. All kinds of crazy things going on over there.
No holds barred over there.
Right. I mean, they were censored a little bit, but there's so much. Like you go over there and you think you're going to hear some stories, but it's people selling stuff. People selling stuff. Everywhere you look, it's ads for people selling stuff, and that drives me insane. I'm kind of glad that does not happen over here on YouTube. So,
yeah.
And I hope they never allow that to start happening. What else was going on that I think is strange that might need to be talked about? Let me think for a second about. Well, I know what it was. Okay, now I'm going to talk about this for just a second, and we're not going to talk about it long, but. I watch this, and then a big high-profile case pops up here, and then a new YouTube channel all of a sudden appears, right? The amount of YouTube channels that are doing true crime is amazingly crazy. That I think there's more true crime channels than anything else. Now, I kind of wonder why. Why?
Yeah, that is interesting. That's an interesting thing to think about.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to see if we can see a list of them, or if they tell us how many there are. on YouTube. True crime channels on YouTube. Let's see. Let me see if I can find how many there are.
How many channels
I mean,
total are on YouTube?
Oh wow, I don't even know. But it's a lot. Let's see. We'll see. We'll see how many. There's like millions of postings on YouTube every single day, which
Yeah.
is so that the chance of your channel being seen is so slim. Because because you get stuck in these algorithms because all of our friends are in these other chat rooms too. So we talking to
Right.
them and they're coming to wherever we are and all that. And so we kind of get just stuck in that algorithm, even though we don't really want to do true crime. But
Right.
I'm going to see if I can figure out how many. Let's see. Not on Reddit. We don't care about Reddit. All right. I think one day I saw something like over 2 million or yeah. How many
That's a
YouTube
lot.
channels are there? Yeah. Okay. Okay, you ready for the number? Because it's big. It's much bigger than we thought. Globally, there are 115 million YouTube channels.
Wow.
So that was in August, with about 60 million actively uploading content each month. The total number of channels consistently is growing, and it's a high estimate as smaller channels may not be tracked or included. See, I mean, it's just hard for these small channels to get into the big arena. So, wow. Well, you want to hear something funny? The list of most subscribed YouTube channels. So, the number one, of course, is Mr. Beast. Now, Mr. Beast is this, he's got 440 million subscribers.
Wow.
Okay. So that vidIQ that I use, when it helps us write scripts, it'll say, do you want it to sound like Mr. Beast? And if you say yes, then it kind of gives the Mr. Beast vibe to whatever you're writing about or whatever you want to talk about. So I thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Okay. So there's that guy. And then the 100 most subscribed to channels are, let's see. Well, of course, then there's a lot of anybody that is a Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift, people like that, they have, of course they have millions. But there's something called T-Series, which is 304 million subscribers. There's Cocomelon Nursery Rhymes. How about that? And it has 197.8 million. But now there's a big channel in India that's called SET India that has 186. There's, let me see if anybody we know. There's a lot. I mean, WWE, of course, the wrestling channel has got 111 million. Sony, of course, the Sony station. There's a TV nursery station. Let's see. I'm looking for anything that would be in what channels we would watch to see if any of those are even in this top 100.
Like Long Crime and all of that.
Yeah, right. But I don't think any of them are in that top one. Well, let's see. Taylor Swift. Let's see. Marshmallow. I don't know what that is. Billie Eilish. It's all these famous people that are probably in that top 100. But let's see. APB News. Okay, news, of course. Shakira. Her channel's big. Beatbox and Gold Mines. But like the little channels we watch, none of those are in that top 100, which I find that kind of interesting,
Yeah.
You'd thought they would be. So anyway. So I thought we'd just talk for a few minutes. We've been on like 47 minutes. So if you want to call it a day and go get your rest to start your beautiful new day tomorrow with the best you can be, that'd be great.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. I'm good for whatever.
All right.
Well, that's crazy numbers, though. That's really interesting.
It is crazy numbers. It's like, how do you get there?
Yeah.
How do you get there? You'd have to be. You're either going to be a Lori Vallow or a Chad Daybell. You have to have something horrific about you, or you're going to be a superstar, or you're going to be some kind of pro something.
Yeah.
But, are you little Tom, Dick, and Harry's like us, or Janes and Jillies? We're going to have a hard time getting to that.
Yeah. That's
funny,
just
though.
insane.
It is insane. Yeah. What else have you seen?
So YouTube is, at the end of the day, YouTube is making a lot of money.
They sure are. Because like on your subscribers and all that, they take a big percentage of, once you get monetized, they take a big percentage of all of it. So that's why a lot of the channels will have like like PayPal and these kind of things on there because that way none of the money, like YouTube doesn't get that money, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like 30% or some ridiculous number. When are we going to get monetized? I don't know. It takes a long time. You have to think about this: 4,000 watch hours, right? Well, I'll just tell you what it is over here. Let me look this up real quick, and you'll be surprised at this because it's really hard to get 4,000 watch hours unless you are a superstar of some sort. Let me go over here. Look at this. Okay, so let's change channels, switch accounts. Okay, so for my other channel, LilRed, let's go over here. I'll tell you what it's got. Okay, come on, thing. Come on. Oh, let's see. Couponing. Well, some people are talking to us. Let's see. Come on over here. Over here. All right, now it'll go over here and we'll get it to show us that. Manage. Well, where is it? It's not going to show it to me. I might have to go to this one. Okay, so on that channel, oh, come on. I only have like 413 watch hours. I have 9,194 subscribers. But yeah, I'm still not monetized. It's going to take a long time. So, but that's okay.
That doesn't seem like very much.
I know. Out of I don't know how long I've been doing this. Maybe I think it started in March or February, March or something like that. But the thing is when you're not over here doing high profile true crime channels where people are, because that's one of the most watched things on YouTube. You're not going to get the thousand people each time you go on live because you're not talking about things like that,
right?
And I don't care how long it takes to get monetized. I really don't. But the one thing I don't want to do is abuse. How can I put this nicely? I don't want to use these kind of things to make any kind of money because I just don't agree with it. I don't. It's not. These are families at the worst time in their entire life. Their child is gone. It doesn't matter how it happened. Their child is gone. I mean, that's, yourself. We both lost children. That is the most painful thing you can live through because it's not supposed to happen that way. So I cannot let myself do that. I'm not going to. So anyway. People are like, but people say, oh, but we're spreading awareness. No, you're really not. There's no reason to spread awareness by coming on here every day for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours, whatever. Replaying the same old thing. You're not spreading awareness.
No,
you're not giving us anything new. And I mean, you run your channel however you want to. That's up to you. But as far as what I'm concerned, I don't think that's really spreading awareness. But anyway.
No, you can spread awareness by one time,
Yeah. Or you can do a community post that runs all the time that reminds people that this person is missing, right?
Yes.
I mean, that works too. You don't have to come on here and beat the horse to death with this same stuff all day, every day.
Like running the Chris Watts case. That's a perfect example.
Oh my God. Yes, it is. It is. Look at Letitia Stausch's case. Same thing.
Yeah.
Over and over. Now, did I enjoy listening to the phone calls? Yes, they're pretty damn funny because she's so ridiculous. It is funny. But as far as going back and watching the trial over and over, or going back and discussing the trial over and over, no. Because, Gannon's mom and dad is still over there trying to live, trying to move forward. And they don't need to hear that on YouTube, Letitia Stausch's name every other day, right? I know.
Yeah. So, and then you're going to have the people that say, well, they should just get off social media. That's going to be the other side of the coin. If they don't want to hear it, then they should just get off social media. That's really not an answer to it either.
I don't think so either. I think it's rather disrespectful, actually. But, well, I mean, look at the Stephen Stearns case. Okay, yeah, he took his plea, whatever, fine. All right. But now we still have people over there claiming that she's going to get arrested. Oh, my God. He is not credible. The DA is going to say, oh, I don't believe nothing he says. That's not true. I mean, God Almighty. Oh, it's a mess.
Yeah, that
I
whole
gotta be
case
honest.
is a big mess. That whole, and I just don't understand. I just don't understand her behaviors. I never will.
Me neither. I mean, you know
And ju-
yourself.
and just her not showing up at his trial. Why? Why?
And not even not she never stood up for that little girl. Never.
Never.
What
I
in the
just
world?
I try to think, God, if it was me, what would I do? And
Right.
I wouldn't do
Right.
anything close to what she's done. That's for sure.
You know what people try to say, well, one of the flip sides of this is people say, well, she's on all those drugs. And even Stephen Stern's mother talked about how that the biggest concern of hers during the day is her drugs. Okay, she needs these drugs. She lives a life just being in a fog all the damn time,
Yeah.
all the time. How and why? Poor Maddie never had a chance.
No. Bless her heart.
It's sad. Yeah, it's sickening. I mean, and then people, and then like, how did she not know? I would like to know how she did not know something was going on there.
Yeah. It's unfathomable that she wouldn't know. I mean, if she really honestly didn't know, how did she
Mm-hmm.
not know? It's like there were so many, there appeared to be so many signs that something wasn't right. And can
Agreed.
somebody really be that stupid? I mean, really? Could they be that dumb?
You know who did the laundry?
I don't think
Who did that?
anybody did by the looks of her house.
Yeah, wasn't very clean, was it? But you're talking about a child that's 8, 9, 10 years old, and you're talking about a grown ass man, and
Yeah.
doing whatever he's doing to her. You're going to have damage. You're going to have tears. You're going to have blood. You're going to have injuries to that tiny little body.
Yeah.
Now, if somebody was doing the laundry, they would see that in the laundry. That what the hell's going on here? You're too young for your
Right.
period at 9 years old or whatever. So what
Yeah.
is it? How come nobody knew? Mm. You know,
It just doesn't make sense. None of it makes
uh-uh,
sense. You can't make it
How,
make sense. No matter how hard you try, you just can't.
right? Yeah, trying to make it make sense. It doesn't work, right?
Mm.
Alex Erickson did a really good. She did a little. What would she go? It was a timeline about every time Stephen went there and the pictures. And once we got some information from FOIA's, once I got some of that stuff in, she made this timeline. And this was every time he went there, he abused that child every single time on that timeline. It just matches up with from the dates the dates he was charged, the pictures and all that stuff. Every bit of it, every single time. How did she not know?
Yeah.
God. And
Yeah, I
the
mean, you can
roommate,
only deny things
roommates,
so many times. You know what I mean?
right?
Denial only goes so far until where you just can't, it's in your face and you can't deny it anymore.
She's one of the most looked like remember Letitia Stout? She was one of the most hated mothers in America. Well, now the most hated mother in America is Jen Photo.
Yeah.
She's still walking around. That child is gone, and her first concern was Stephen Stearns. They
Yeah.
need to get him an attorney. Oh, the sex
Mm-hmm.
stuff wasn't that bad.
I
What?
know.
Yuck.
That's what just threw me with her. Like,
Yeah.
really? You're going to say that? All the things you
Yeah.
could say and you say that?
It
Wow.
makes no sense. I mean, I went back and I looked at those videos a few times because I have all of that from my FOIA request on my laptop. I mean, if we ever want to go back and look at it together, we can. But the thing is, when I really listen to what she says, and you really pay attention to her facial expressions while she's making these statements, and the cops are sitting there watching her and writing down everything. They know she's lying through her teeth.
Of course they do.
But there was not one stitch of evidence that they could pull out that says, we know you're lying, but we've got nothing to prove that you're lying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Other than we think you're lying. So what were they going to do?
Yeah. Their hands were tied.
So, right. I mean, because I was glad that he went ahead and took a plea because I did not want that little girl's everything about her just exposed in a courtroom for everybody to be talking about, taking pictures, discussing, and everything else. Her dignity needed to be preserved.
Yes.
And
yes.
thank you for doing
100%.
that. You know, because that would not have happened that if he would have went to trial.
It certainly would not have.
And I'm glad that happened. I mean, you know, people talk about, oh, the autopsy, this, blah, 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 blah. You never get in that autopsy report. And thank God, because she was a minor.
Not on child, you know?
Nobody needs to see that mess. Nobody needs to see that. Ever. Period. It needs to be sealed. So.
As it should be and as it is. That's absolutely.
Well, I think anytime you've got a minor child who was the victim, the record should be sealed. It should never be released out to the public. You know, a grown-ass adult, okay, that's still bad. But children don't have a choice. They can't make the choice themselves. No. It's always made for them. So, yeah, that's how I feel about that. It's sad.
No, I agree 100%.
Very ridiculous. So, let me see.
It's just heart-wrenching.
It is heart-wrenching, and I don't understand people. I don't know why anybody would want to be interested in that. You know, I don't, that's the part I kind of don't understand. Why would you be interested in that? Yeah. What do you think you're going to learn from that? You know?
Yeah. What are you going to get from that?
Yeah. I don't understand it. So, I mean, is it because you want to see the pictures? Are you that damn nosy? I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like with all those pictures of Gannon that came out, you know, and the people saw it. And, you know, that whole thing was just a huge debacle. That should have been so protected. That should have never gotten out to anybody, ever.
I agree. And then people selling it behind the patron wall. Are you kidding me? That was the most disgusting.
And like you didn't know what you were doing. Come on.
Right. Yeah.
And if you didn't know what you were doing, you have no business being on YouTube doing it.
She said educational. Okay, the person who did it said what? There's no educational value to that.
None. No, none.
None. So, none. I don't. I mean,
it breaks my heart for Al and
oh yeah,
Landon.
Mm-hmm.
That had to have just been horrendous for them. Just horrendous. I mean, they didn't even go to court on certain days because they didn't want to see that. Yet all that stuff is all over the internet.
Right. And people selling it. I mean, I don't know if you remember her or not, but remember this lady, her name was something Curious. What was her name? Something Curious. We all used to watch before the trial and all that. And Crime Curious, I think was her name. Do you remember her? She was writing this book.
Vaguely, yes.
Yes. You know, there is no book. She never wrote that book. That was all a big grift.
Really?
Hey, there's no book. Right. There have been some books written, but she did not write one of them. In fact, I'll tell you how many books there have been written. I've got 2 of them. Let's see, books written on. I love to read them. Letitia Stouch's case. Let's see how many have actually been published.
Because she was pushing that book hard.
Oh, I remember every day. Well, it's this, it's that, and asking us to donate money. You know, just over and over and over. And we're so stupid. I'm sorry, but we were a little stupid, thinking, oh, she really was writing a book. You know. Let's see. God. And whenever I figured it out that there was never going to be a book, I was like, oh, no. Let's see. Books written on Letitia Stouch. Let's see. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that, if you like tell that, wait, let's see. That's not there. Okay. 5. I think there's 5 books. Oh, Letitia Stouch, here we go. Crime Curious. Let's see what she's got to say. I found something here.
Oh, you did?
I did find something here. And it's nothing but post-trial study group. It's a post-trial study group, but there's no book. There's no book. There's documents, all the documents from the case, but there's no book.
Interesting.
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
So, yeah, I thought she disappeared somewhere. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in her world. I'm gonna just look at it for a second because let's see, pending trial. She's watching other trials now. It's like she just walked away from this damn book that she told us about and never did anything. But she's got all these trials over here listed on her website, on her webpage over here that she's going to go and attend. Yeah, yeah. Huh. So here, let me tell you what she says. We purchase and release open records, attend court proceedings whenever possible, and conduct interviews to create extensive timelines, analyze the terrible details, and host weekly study sessions and seek professional help when necessary. This is right off of her webpage right here. So yeah, I'm surprised that I even thought to look at this. Post conviction, she's talking. Let me tell you about who she's talking about here. James Craig, Patrick Frazee, Daniel Krug, Reginald McLaren, Mark Redwine, Letitia Stouch, and Chris Watts. So let's look at what she has about Letitia Stouch's post conviction.
And Frazee, I know those names.
Yeah.
And Chris Watts, of course, and Letitia, of course.
Okay, so there she has nothing on the post trial on her. So let's see who else we got. Oh, sponsors. Let's see who her sponsors are. Excalibur Sustained Private Investigation. Okay, remember they were her sponsor back then too. Now let's see what else we got here. Pending trials that she's going to attend, I guess. Barry Murphy, she's going to go to that one. She's got a bunch of documents over here on that one. Let's see, pendings. Kimberly Singler. I don't know what's that one about. I don't think I've heard of this one. Oh, yes, I know who that is. She's the one that killed her kids. Then she went to England thinking they were not going to send her back to the States because they did not send people back like that if they were going to get the death sentence, right? So that is she's that Colorado Springs mom that killed her kids, and then she just went on over to England. So, yeah.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah. So let's see. She had an 11-year-old daughter and were treated for their injuries at the scene. So one of the kids lived, apparently. So she got 2 counts of murder in the first degree.
That's not the lady who killed her kids and then jumped out the window and then became paralyzed?
No, that's a different woman.
Do you know who I'm talking about? She had the
yeah. I don't remember her name, but
and then she jumped out the window and now she's paralyzed. She was a nurse or something.
Oh my God. People are desperate, huh? I guess she wanted to kill herself but couldn't. I don't know.
And she jumped out the window and now she's paralyzed from she's like a paraplegic, I think.
We need to look that up and talk about it one day on a live. I think we ought to do that. Another one she's going to go attend is the Jimmy West. Yeah, find it out. If we can get FOIAs or whatever, we can take a look at it. I mean, I think talking about the psyche of why she did that is not the same as, true crime out there, looking up every detail, wanting to read every document and see every picture and all that. I mean, because that's the thing. I always wanted to know what makes people do the things they do. It's how they tick. It's what happened to them that made them do, that drove their trauma or whatever. So
I want to say that they were saying there were severe postpartum with her. I want to say she was an L&D nurse too. Labor and delivery nurse.
Okay. That's crazy. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find something. Let's see. Postpartum. I'm gonna look up killed her children. God.
If I remember right, there was 3 and they were all under like 6 years old. Boy. They were little. And I want to say she killed them with like exercise bands or something like that.
Oh my God. Okay. It's generating right now, so we can look it up. It's you're not talking about not Andrea Yates.
No, it's a different recently one. In the past couple
of
years.
Is it Lindsay Clancy? Lindsay Clancy?
Is she blonde?
No, it doesn't have a picture of her. She's talking about she drowned the 5 children in the bathtub. And no, this is a different one. She drowned all 5 of her children in a bathtub.
She killed them in the house and then she jumped out the window.
Okay, let me keep looking. Okay, Andrew Yates. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up here and jumped out the window. That'll help us. She jumped out the window.
I'm
Oh my,
pretty
that
sure
is
that's what
desperation.
happened. Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the last
That
3
is.
years.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. It was, listen to this. It was Lindsay Clancy. She killed her 3 young children in January. According to the officials, she cut herself and jumped out a second floor window, surviving the fall but becoming paralyzed. It is her.
Then that was her. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to have to get some information about that. They said she had postpartum psychosis, which is a serious and rare mental condition. It's an emergency that can affect new mothers typically within the first few weeks after childbirth. The symptoms, this is interesting stuff. The condition, okay, says the symptoms. The condition is different and much more severe than postpartum baby blues or postpartum depression. Delusions, believing things that are not true, hallucinations, hearing or seeing things, paranoia, extreme confusion and disorientation, erratic and disorganized behavior, rapidly changing moods, suicidal thoughts, or thought of harming the babies. Oh my. It says approximately 4% of women who experience postpartum psychosis may commit infanticide. The risk of suicide also is elevated. And so the risk factors, here, this is interesting. While the exact causes are not fully understood, certain factors increase the risk of developing postpartum psychosis. A personal or family history of bipolar disorder or other psychotic illnesses, sleep deprivation, and major hormonal changes after childbirth. And it's usually after the first pregnancy. That's interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But well, here's the thing. When we talk about people that are sociopaths or psychopaths or whatever they are, most of them have some underlying mental illness that was not addressed or not discussed or not nobody knew it when they were children, right?
Yeah.
And so if they find out later in life, right, because people just don't look to diagnose children for things like that. But there are a lot of children out there who very much have those disorders, but they're labeled ADHD or they're labeled, put on Ritalin or all these different things instead of finding out what's really wrong with them, because that's easier and faster.
Right. So, just give them a pill.
Yeah, that'll fix it. Just give them that pill. That'll work for a while. My poor child who passed away. I'll talk about this for just a second. I mean, I don't really ever talk about it much, but he was on attention deficit medicine, right? I mean, because he did struggle, and I thought, well, I mean, I was young. I didn't really know any better at that point, but I learned a lot, and eventually I just said, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. I've got a zombie over here who's not doing anything now. We're going to have to learn a different way. We're doing something different. And so we did. I mean, I was like, no, I'm not going to continue this. I don't see anything except a zombie child who gets the work done, but that he's not enjoying life. That's how it looked to me. So I was like, no, we're done. We're done with that. But anyway, now my other child who's at UT right now, boy, he's so funny. He really is a funny child, because he's got these little social things. That's what his thing is. It's a social thing. I've never met a person like this. He's just amazed me the whole time.
Yeah.
And his older brother's like, Mom, how could it be so different? I'm like, I don't know, but he is.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I just love him to death. It took him 3 weeks to get to where he thought he needed to come home. Like he thought, I don't need any help. I'm moving out. I got this, blah, blah, blah. Well, 3 weeks later, he needed to come home. He was like, okay,
bless his heart.
I need some parents. I need some help. It was funny. This is kind of funny, but he's doing great. He really is doing great.
That's good.
I know a lot of people don't like to talk about their children on live shows, but I don't know. I just kind of like this. The kids have always been like this just special. I mean, to me, they're the most special thing I've ever had is my kids. But anyway, it was so much fun going to pick the dog up the other day too.
Oh, I
Isn't
bet.
that the cutest dog you've ever seen?
That is a cute dog.
Oh my God, she potty trained so easy because after I left, he was telling me, Mom, she just goes to the door. I said, just keep doing it. That's all you got to do. You know, just keep doing
quick.
it. So,
she must be smart. She picked
all right,
up on
girl,
that
we've been on for
fast.
an hour and 10 minutes. I know you went home. It was fun. We're going to get some information on our postpartum mother over here, and we'll talk about her too. Yeah,
okay.
I think we should. Anyway, have a good night.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye now. See you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Let me end this.